I'm like, I don't know if I'm just completely uneven or everyone else is uneven.
No, every time I get on after Piper, I feel like the stirrups are uneven, so. Well, it's funny because my dressage length stirrups right now are her sort of normal length.
I figured that.
So.
Got some long legs. And when you've been riding him, Piper, have you been asking him? Like, it's just been survival mode a little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah.
But I was trying to get him at least moving somewhat.
Yeah.
And not totally floppy reins.
Well, she hasn't quite even got, I mean, she's starting to get contact.
Yeah.
She's not at the point where she would be necessarily asking him to round on a regular basis or that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or even know how. I'm sort of just getting there with Mischief. Mischief is not an easy project in that
I think Mischief is a special
area.
case in that
It
aspect.
takes
if
a
I
lot.
remember correctly of her former identity of April.
Yeah. She's getting better.
Yeah.
But she's a work in progress.
It's always a work in progress.
It is taking less time. It used to take 45 minutes.
I have a kid's horse at the barn right now that she went off to school and she left it with me. She's like, all I want is when I come home, I get on and it only takes 5 minutes to get it round. It's
Wow.
like an hour at least. I would call it a battle, which I never want to fight with them. She's been up in Maine by herself. I haven't seen her in like 3 years. I used to teach her at camp, and I was like, oh my god, this thing doesn't want to do anything.
Yeah. We're just taking it slow and, you know,
Were you going to the Fall Classic?
I was not going to go to the Fall Classic because
long's
I
that
wasn't
video?
sure I wanted to do that with my hand because she gets so strong on cross country. I wasn't sure I was ready because I can't really grip, and I'm not sure I would feel it if I damaged myself at this point.
Say, yeah.
But I was going to do the derby at Orchard Hill,
Oh yeah.
and Shannon had talked about maybe some hunter stuff
Yeah.
where we could just go out and have fun and
Do a bunch.
yeah, and we may still yet. It just depends on what's going on there.
And they didn't want to ultrasound it right away, or they did?
No, she didn't. She said right now rest. She didn't give me a good indication of what she thought was going on even. My guess is she did something stupid out in the paddock with the boys, but
I had one that had string haul, and at the end I didn't know, like, if I was being mean to ask him to do, you know, to use himself. Like, that's why I'm a little worried about the left hind, but I think it's fine to go trotting around.
what did he have?
My horse had string haul, which basically his nerves were all bundled together in his hock, so he moved really funny behind. But it made him look neurologic, so we treated him for a bunch of neuro stuff. This one doesn't have string haul, I would pretty much guarantee that. But I didn't ever know if it was, you know, when I was flatting him, if I should really push the use yourself issue. Or if he like physically couldn't do it. So that's why on him I questioned the left hind.
He was actually better neurologically even after the first butte run, so
Oh good.
they thought that, you know, that's why they went down the neck injection, because he was hoping they'd see a big impact from that.
And they thought the left hind was connected to the neuro though.
Yep.
Not something else.
No. But the next step, if he is still in pain, would be a full body scan.
Yeah. He should be able to turn his neck like all the way to my knee without having to swing his body around. So the left is a little better. So the right, he wants to move his whole body to bend that way.
Yep. So he's still either stiff or uncomfortable or...
Or may have just had himself locked in that position for a little bit. Like I got Rose's neck done in Aiken. I think just one side of it actually. Trying to remember what we did. And he felt that Fred's like, does he feel amazing? I'm like, no, he feels the same. But after a week or two of like really stretching and loosening up during ride, he felt so much better. And I think he was just locked in one position for so long.
Okay.
That turning to the right feels painful for him.
How long should I record? Should I record everything?
Record everything and then Fred can watch what he wants to watch. You can pause every once in a while and have breaks.
Like, can you see the left hind, Lisa? Like, normally I would, if there was nothing wrong or nothing I thought wrong with the left hind, I'd like boot him with my left leg and make him step under. But I'm letting him live in a little bit of straight as opposed to inside bend this way to relieve some pressure on that left hind leg.
Okay.